So, yes, Isha, we will be not only recording it, we are very glad that all of you are introducing yourself, and we will be asking others to introduce themselves as well. We will be recording it to a large extent in terms of focusing, yeah, and you can record the session, but we will be recording it and sharing it on YouTube. So you don't have to worry about that. My name is Anusha Ramanathan, and over a period of time, this is something that you will, get through. Surbhi, is there a problem? Yeah. Yes, yes, Naresh, very hello. Hello to all of you. We are very glad to see the kind of representation that is across the country. And Isha and others who have asked for whether the recording will be shared, we will be putting it up on a YouTube channel, and we will be sending out the links on the email thread that we have shared with you, through which you were able to log in today. So definitely that, yes. Some very quick pointers for all of you who are here. I am going to start my video. So Surbhi and I are both from the Tata Institute of Social Science. We have other colleagues from other places with us who are also on this. We also have some colleagues with us who are on the same call. And hi. So we will be sharing the screen with you. We will be interacting with you. A very few things that you would have already noticed is you have a lot of emoticons that you can be using. You could be using something on, if you're using your cell phone, you can be clicking on, if you click on your own handle, you have certain actions that are available to you as raise hand. You click on more. In some of the devices, it is about more. And you will be able to click in terms of thumbs up. You will be able to tell us more in terms of the kinds of activities that, links that you will be able to share with us. No, go slower, go faster. You can tell us all of that. We will be looking at the chat and trying to respond to you. Welcome all of you. We're very glad that you have been able to come in and join us at such short notice. We've had overwhelming responses. We look forward to definitely going ahead and sharing with focus. 6:02, so we will start. We do request, and we will be doing this to a lot of you. We will be muting a lot of participants, and we will be not allowing video share for certain reasons that we will block it. Is that as number of participants increase, we will have a problem with video bandwidth. It has become increasingly a problem. And therefore, we want to ensure that we retain the video bandwidth for the screen share. If you have any doubts, you can keep chatting to us. Surbhi, next slide.
Hello, good evening.
Okay. Right. So if you see from our sessions out here. We are, oh, your voice is not clear. You need me to speak louder. Is this better now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? I can stop this and use.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes, ma'am. We are able to hear you.
So we're very glad to see a lot of people trying already to log in and raise their hands, etc. If you
Ma'am,
have
couldn't see you.
questions, please do ask us. I'm going to mute all. Yes. And we'll constantly come back to this. So if on your screen, this is a screenshot of a cell phone. I think a lot of you are logged in through your cell phone. On this right side, you will see something that is circled as 3 dots. If you click on that, you will be able to get to something that gives you a chat option. And the chat, by clicking on chat, you can chat with all of us. And some of you are already doing that. I have muted everyone. If someone else is is still muted, then I will go back and check this. So we have control options from here, and we will be using it as quick reworks. If you want to see who all are the participants, you can click on the option next to participants and check through. You will have options of interactivity, such as raised hand, thumbs up, lower your hand, raise your hand, etc. So if you do want us to pause and reflect or anything, please either type in or raise your hand and we will get to you. We promise to get to you. Some of you have already raised your hand, and I hope it is not a reflection on whether you're able to hear us or not. I hope I'm clear. If not, then please do type. Yeah. Surbhi, we can go ahead, I think. Yes. Surbhi? Who are we is a reflection on, we come from the Tata Institute of Social Science. Thank you all for joining in. It seems to have been very rapid response to something that we pushed out. Our center is a new center. It began in, well, not absolutely new. We have since 2015 been working in this area, but our center is called Education, Innovation, and Action Research. We have begun with the option of connected learning, an initiative for action research. It's called Connected Learning Initiative. And it is working in 4 states. And these are the 4 aspects. We will be asking you to also tell us something about yourself by launching a poll. And I'm going to just start that. You will be able to see a poll on your screen now. And if you can tell us something about yourself. So I'm Anusha Ramanathan, and I am a teacher. And I work with colleges, but I also have taught in schools. But I'm glad to see all of you are to the poll.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Surbhi, and we are really glad that you could come to this webinar. And we are looking forward to an interactive session. And we're also looking forward to have your introduction.
Just a minute. Is it still noisy from your end, ma'am? Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am. It's little noisy.
Yes, ma'am, there are a lot of noises coming from the backside.
Atuba Saeed. Is it very noisy from even now for all of you?
Yes, ma'am. Maybe someone is not in mute, means not in muted, unmuted. That's why.
Okay, we have muted a lot of people, and a lot of the videos are also.
Those who are joining new,
Is
there
it
might be a
better now?
Yes.
I'm glad to see we have participants from Afghanistan, from Telangana, of course. I was expecting a few, but it's nice to see that all of you are here. We have 109 votes of the 168 who have joined. Welcome, Suresh Babu. It's nice to see you, and a lot of you are here. Okay, let me see what I can do to reduce the noise.
Anusha, it's good now. Continue.
It's better now. You can
It's not
continue.
noisy. Please continue.
Is it better now, Rohunla?
It's better now.
It
There
is
is no
better now?
noise. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. It's
All
better
right.
now.
Okay, so I'll use from my
Continue.
cell phone, my video and my aspect instead of using from my laptop. Thank you. And I think Surbhi is also on. And Surbhi, you want to introduce yourself and
Yeah.
talk to us about it as
Uh,
people are voting?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Surbhi. I also work at the center where Anusha does. And I have been a primary school teacher for 2 years. I've been involved in teaching, and I'm also a PhD student right now at Tata for Social Science Bombay. We're very glad. I'm very glad that we could make it to the webinar, and we're looking for an interactive session. As Anusha said, that we are from the CEIAR Center for Education, Innovation and Action Research. And as a part of that center, we have a CLICS flagship program where we have prepared online modules for teachers and students. And we also offer short-term courses for interested participants as a part of.
Surbhi, you will have to unmute yourself. 1 second. Just, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we also offer short-term courses as a part of our center uh, from the program Reflective Teaching with ICT, RTICT program. And these are online courses which we offer on the TISEX platform. And there are 3 courses that we offer for English language teachers. So this is what we do as well. Yeah. So we're looking forward to interacting with you all, and please participate in the poll that you can see on your screen.
So a lot of you would have been able to see the polls, and you have a lot of teachers around, and it is great to see all of you together. And it is nice to see that so many teachers are joining this call. Thank you for all of you joining. We are. So, is there a reason why? Yeah. So the next slide, as such pointed out, as Surbhi pointed out, we have these 3 courses, TIS, CLICS, TIS, and Fences. We'll just move to the next one. Right. Surbhi, over
Yeah.
to you.
So as you know that the webinar is around task-based language teaching approach. So we need to understand first, what is this task-based language teaching approach that we're talking about? So you see a lot of keywords on your screen right now. So this is all what a task-based language teaching approach entails. It is relevant, it is very authentic, it is real life, it's based on the principle of problem solving, it's fun, and it creates a positive environment of language learning. So talking about task-based language teaching approach, so in this particular approach, the focus is on having tasks and activities and problem solving activities become a center point for language learning and teaching. So in this particular approach, you will have the relevant tasks, authentic real life tasks around which you will organize your language learning. Now the focus here is not very much on the structure of the language or grammatical points that we need to focus on in the language, but meaning making and trying to problem solve a particular task and use language in the process. So you do not directly focus on the language form, but after performing the task, you discuss different features of language that were used to complete that particular task. So again, the center is really the tasks. So I'll move on to the next slide. Yeah. So I'm again and again focusing on tasks. You know, if the task-based language teaching approach is focused around tasks. So what are these tasks? So if you see my screen, there are two definitions that have been given by Prabhu and David Noonan. So if you read them, I'll read them for you. If you can see your screen, you'll be able to read them. An activity where, you know, a learner needs to come to a conclusion from a given information. So you have a particular task, you have to find out some information through it. And the teacher or the parent or the facilitator organizes that task so that students can perform it and come to a conclusion and do a problem solving activity. It allows learners to manipulate, produce target language while they are doing the task. So it's more of a language production activity or a task rather than only passively receiving language input through many tasks that we do in our classrooms. So here again, the meaning is to, the focus is to convey meaning rather than focus on form and language structures. The focus on forms and language structures is not intentional, or it does not precede the task, but it happens post the task, where you kind of pay attention to what all language features, etc. you use while engaging the student or engaging the child with a particular task. Yeah. So this is generally what happens when you are designing a particular. We'll come to examples, and you can see all of this examples. Basically, a task structure looks something like this, what you can see on your screen right now. So whenever you are planning a task for your children or for your students, first of all, you have a pre-task. So pre-task kind of preps you up for the main task that you're going to ask your students or children to engage in. And this can be in the form of instruction or a short precursor activity, a quiz, or an introductory discussion that you do before you engage in the task. Then comes the task cycle, the second one. The task cycle has three things: task, planning, and reporting, and it's a very intuitive and very related to what has been written here. First, the child will do the particular task, perform the particular task, plan how are they going to share it with you, how are they going to share it with the teacher, the facilitator, parent, how are they going to report that particular task to you or share what they have done. And in the end, they report that work to you. So this is the task cycle. Third is the learning focus. So the learning focus, which comes after the task, is analysis and practice. So you kind of discuss with the students how you are going to, what you've done in the task, what you've done in the task, and what are the, they make them pay attention to what kind of language features you have used to come to complete this particular task. So again, as I pointed out earlier, the idea is not to proceed with language structures and language features, but deriving them out of the task later. But the idea is to make that task a meaningful, real life, authentic task, and then come towards post-task discussion where you talk about language features. Yeah, so now that we have discussed this, I would request Anusha to, so what we plan to do next is we will try to do certain activities which Anusha will take.
Sure, Surbhi, thanks. So one of the questions that I have with y'all is, before that, I would really request that people who are with video, please switch off the video because you are consuming a lot of bandwidth. And the ones who are, please mute yourselves. We are also trying to mute you, but otherwise it becomes problematic to, listen clearly, right? So that's the two things that we would like. Now, this is an activity that we thought would be a quick activity in terms of chatting. And we thought that we could all type in our understanding of Yeah. So I think now only the host and the panelists can be talking. Others cannot unmute themselves. And I'm sorry, but it will otherwise just add to the noise that others are complaining about. Right? So as Surbhi shared the screen with you all, this is a fun activity that we would just like to understand. If you can type into the chat box, and you see some of you are already talking about it, type into the chat box, how are you feeling? We've had about 15 minutes of this session. So can you tell us how you are feeling right now? I'll start with the exercise by typing in my feeling. Uh, yeah, fine, curious, okay, elated, excited, curious, eager, okay, anxious. I don't know why others are anxious, looking forward to more. Thank you. Right, fun, fine. Okay. Uh, it's fun. Okay. So one aspect, excellent new experience, ecstatic. Okay, looking forward to something new. Okay, it was a very quick session to just try and get us to understand and be writing about it, bring smiles in the faces. Good. We hope to do that definitely with our focus, and we're glad to see that you are also able to enjoy what we are sharing with you. So the next question that I have based on the same thing is, how do you think about someone who is very close to you know, could be a family member, could be a friend, and think about them and say, based on your feeling currently, how do you think that person will feel? So I feel nervous, and I'm thinking of my brother, and I know my brother will feel uh, elated, you know. Okay. So apparently there were a lot of snaps voices, excited. You are excited. What about the person who is close to you? I'm thinking about your daughter. My mother will be proud. Oh, wow, that's nice. Curious, encouraging. Anyone else? Very happy, proud, eager and interested for yourself, maybe engaging, supportive. Supportive is interesting, excited, motivating. Okay. The question was, if someone thinks about, if you are thinking, if you are feeling happy or sad or whatever it is that you typed into the chat box, think about someone who is, you know, feeling like you, and think about who's very close to you and how would they feel based on your interaction. That is what the question is. Yeah. So motivating, cool, happy, inspired. They will be inspired, interesting, supportive, happy for you. That's good. So very quick questions. These were just an exercise to talk about, in a sense, that you can do with children, with adults. We are all in this very stressful environment, and how are you feeling is definitely a question that we should ask each other. And I do hope you're all safe and well, and from all of us in the team. So it's nice to see that there are so many positive responses, and there are some which are like confused and supportive and motivated that come in. So what do you think is the kind of exercise that this is a task, where the question was, how are you feeling? The question was, how does that make someone close to you feel? And both of these are not necessarily only language tasks. They are tasks in and of themselves to find out information about another person. But yes, Arpita, you're right. You can talk about identifying adjectives. It's also collocations. It's about the fact that if you are the mother, then the family becomes happy too. So you're also trying to understand how relationships work. Can you hear now? Is my voice breaking for everyone? Is my voice breaking for everyone? Okay, to
No,
know a
Anusha,
person
you're
better,
clear.
it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. So the element here is definitely the fact that you can feel happy for others, and yeah, sure, thank you. So we can be thinking about these and be learning more about language. So you don't have to actively, and as Surbhi was pointing out, actively learn language through a particular statement. Surbhi, you want to move to the next slide? Yeah. Now we're going to do something else, which is create a story. And so the story is, what do you want? What do you need in a story? Omkar, that's nice, Dr. Omkar, that your closed funds feel confused with your interactions. It's true for me as well, and I think a lot of us. So what is required in creating a story? You most likely think of creating it through um, you know, creating a story using plot setting, etc. But we can also be creating a story by coming up with random words, and a random word generator in that sense is a great idea to think about. Yeah, you need ideas. Definitely, you need ideas. Surbhi, I'll just share screen for now. Yes. Right. So if you now look at my screen, there is on your screen, you will see that there is something called a random word generator. And this is a site that enables you to be able to generate words of all kinds, including the fact that there could be verbs, nouns, etc. So you can also have random verb, random noun, look at this in terms of adjectives, random sentence phrases, etc. So we are going to just randomly generate 4 words. We're going to take up 4 words. The word type can be all, and just create random words. We encourage you to. So these are the 4 words that you have. Okay, moving, premature, dry, suntan. These are the 4 words that we got. Now, using this, create a story in 3 sentences, sorry. 4 words, use them in 3 sentences. We'll just wait for 2 minutes for some of you to be able to type it out. And we're also going to try and see it because these are new words for us as well. Moving, premature, dry, suntan. Actually, I'm also going to try and see if I can type in. Chats. Wow, that's nice. Yes. Quite a few of you have it. Really nice. Some of you have really come up with moving around caused a suntan in prematurely. Yes. Moving on to her problems, Radha started talking about suntan, dry hair, premature graying. Very nice. Some very nice and interesting stories. Uh, yes. Wonderful. So as we move on, and I do hope that you will continue sharing with us more of such ideas, uh, the entire aspect of this kind of exercise is to just get children to start thinking imaginatively and to be creating stories and to be able to think about stories in different ways, right? So you can do this at home. You can do this on WhatsApp and on chat. You can do this in terms of uh, creating in terms, one example could be that each one, you can begin a diary, maintain a notebook, and each one in the family can write one word down. And each of you could then create stories with story and anecdotes. Teachers can use this in WhatsApp groups in a similar way. And so there are multiple ways that we can do it. And again, this is a kind of task that without focusing on primarily trying to teach you language will get you more conscious. And as pointed out, this site can actually try and ensure that you can try and focus on random random words, random phrases, etc. also. So it can definitely enable you to do that. So Surbhi, want to talk about the story weaver? I'll share the screen from here. Surbhi?
Yeah, Anusha. Can you share the screen for the story?
Yeah. So, yeah, you can start talking about what Story Weaver is.
Yeah. So, Anusha is just sharing the screen for Story Weaver. So, Story Weaver is a website where you can read a lot of stories. There are stories which there are picture stories. There are stories for each level, and there is also an option of creating stories as you explore this website. Children can, so you can use the random word generator to come up with different words, and then you can create a plot of the story. The website, the website offers you a space to add pictures to your story, explain that picture in the form of a narrative, and it also allows you to publish these stories on the Story Weaver website. So children can also publish these stories on the website. So that can also be done. Yeah.
We go to create, right? Yeah. I really love some of the stories that you're coming up with. Yeah, we can just log in.
Yeah, I think Bindu has shared the link of Story Weaver in the
on
chat.
the chat as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Thank
you
you,
can
Bindu.
Try and try opening it and seeing it for yourself.
Yes, and so you can, as you can see, you can have a lot of chats and everything that's available to you.
So there are, as you can see on the screen, there are stories for every level, level 2, level 3. You can choose story as per the level of children you're working with. And if you go to create, you can create stories with students and illustrate
and
the stories
your children
with
as well.
Yeah, and your children as well. Here you can see, yeah, so it is open now. Here you can see that you can add an image to this particular page. Yeah, there's an option.
You can choose your horizontal, your vertical, you can choose orientations. Yeah.
So these are different options. If you notice, can you close this? Yeah. If you notice on this page, there's a plus sign on the right side that helps you add pages to your storybook. And on the left side of the screen, the navigation tab, here you have a front cover that you can design, back cover, and then the number of pages. So these are different online tools that you can use to create stories.
You also get, should we say just add an image? If you add an image, you can, there is already a lot of pictures and you can just choose and and modify it and type and start writing and typing it in. So these are activities that are fun to do and can be used in different ways as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll take you quickly to the next slide.
Next slide, yeah. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure. You want to share your screen? You share it.
Share it.
I don't know why the screen thing has come in.
Yeah. So we have explored a few resources that you can use to create stories and do a story building activity. You can also do it offline with your students. You can do it with a diary where all of you kind of come up with a sentence and then keep creating the story by adding new sentences and new incidents to the story. So it can also be done offline. So there are some offline and online tools to help you create and weave new stories with your students. Yeah. Also, given the current situation, children are at home, and as I mentioned in the starting, and Anusha also mentioned that these activities can be authentic, based on your real life, and there are so many tasks all around us. So, if you see on the screen, we have created a short activity which you can do with your children at home. So, make a grocery list. So first the child is asked to take stock of the grocery, make lists of items that are needed, talk to family members and ask them what is needed, what is not there, what will be needed in the future immediately. Uh, create a list of final list of grocery items after taking the stock, talking to family members, and also brainstorm on ways in which you are going to procure these essential grocery items during this particular crucial period. And also talking to them while they are engaging in the task about how you can shop in a limited manner, shop only for what you need, and leave stuff for others as well. So this is quite related to what is happening right now around us, and you can use these different activities to kind of help students to use language to complete these activities. Now, I would like you to kind of reflect and put in the chat that how students are making use of different language features, or how they're using language while doing this particular activity. How do you think this is helpful in a second language classroom? So yeah, so you can put it on chat. So for example, this particular activity, how does it facilitate language learning? Okay, and which vocabulary? Yes, you are trying to find out different grocery items, maybe learning new words. Yes, asking questions to family members, finding words for buying the ingredients. Yes. Okay. Yeah, vocabulary regarding kitchen item improves thinking. Yes, you're trying to think and write about your own plan. Yes, communication, you're talking, listening and speaking skills. Yes, analyzing. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you can show the pictures even of the grocery and draw something. With younger kids, this can be done. Yeah, through conversations. Yes. Yeah, group discussion. Absolutely interesting. Okay. Yeah, and also focusing on words like could, should, would that you would use while making the grocery list or making a plan or writing the do's and don'ts when you're buying grocery items for this particular time period, which is already a critical period. Yes, we can also link it with mathematics and talk about quantities. Yes, yes, communicative English skills. So, what we can do next is, can you think of different activities that you can around you, real life activities at your home that you can do with your students for encouraging them to use English and for English language learning? Can you think of activities from your own context, from your own daily life routines that you can use with your students?
Should I move to the next slide,
Yeah,
Surbhi, now?
yeah. So do type in the chat box what kind of activities would you like to do with your children, with your students, and yeah, writing a recipe.
Then I would share.
Yeah. Let's share it afterwards. Yeah. Games like business games, dumb charades, interesting.
Very interesting. Some of the games are.
Yes. Role play.
Reading the newspaper. Very, yes.
Yes.
Morning assembly. If it doesn't happen, we can still have newspapers.
Yeah, giving instructions to draw pictures and then writing about those pictures. Yeah.
Telephonic conversations, loud reading. Okay.
And also
Comic stories.
notice how these activities are, they are integrated in nature. We are not focusing on a particular language feature or a particular language skill individually, but these are integrated. And in real life, language skills are integrated. So these activities kind of mimic how you're going to use language in real life situations. Yes, writing poems together. Yeah. Yeah. So can we move to the next slide? Yeah. Yeah. So these are some tasks that we brainstormed together that we could do, and you have added to the list by giving more wonderful activities that you can do during this time. So writing emails. They are sitting at home. They can write emails or messages to friends and family. There's a lot of time in hand to watch a movie together and write about what they like about the movie, creating a weather report, observing what the weather is like today, and writing a report about it, reflecting on their routine. So there has been a lot of change in what has happened to their routine. It is very different from what was happening earlier. So making their own timetable, reflecting on their routine, uh, creating comics on current affairs or the current situation or the COVID pandemic or anything, any daily life situation or an interesting incident that they come across. For younger kids, you can do listen and draw kind of activities. I think some of you pointed that out in the chat, and Anusha is going to share an online platform where you can do such kind of activities. Express your feelings and emotions in one word. I think you did this kind of activity at the beginning of the webinar, and this is quite suitable for young children as well. Also, there are many platforms available online like Kahoot and where you can create a quiz with your students and with your children, and then you can share it with your family members, your friends, and they can kind of do that quiz, share some results. So these are all different kinds of activities that are all around us. You don't need a specific setup to do these activities. You can do these activities at home with your children and with your students, even in the classroom. So both ways. Yeah. Can we move to the
Yes,
slide?
sure. So we are going to definitely move to one of the activities that some of you have definitely pointed out, which is looking at drawing and Pictionary. I think a lot of you said that. So keeping in mind that there is a limitation of time, and we will show you a couple, but there was one that we wanted to play with you, and we hope that you will indulge us in that as well, where you just need to click on a link. But right now I'll just show you one, which is a single player item online that you can do just checking through things. So if you, this is a neural network learning, and that the computer itself looks at it. And it will tell you about whether the Eiffel Tower is necklace. It's a draw necklace. And it gives you just about 20 seconds to sort of do that. And then it tells you whether, you know, whether what you have drawn is clear or not. So maybe I'll draw something that is absolutely wrong, and it tells you it's a smiley face and so on and so forth, right? So these are some of the activities that it will tell me that I'm running out of time. It will figure it out and say, couldn't guess it, and gives you 6 seconds or so to do that. That's one of the ways of looking at this activity. There's another which is called the Drawsaurus, and this is again free. All of these are free. We just clicked on links, if you notice. All you need perhaps sometimes to do is register, like in Storyweaver. And we will share these links when we are onto these elements. And this is just enter any nickname and you can play the game. And I will share the chat with you. On the chat, I'll create a room and we can all play on it. So this is all that is there. I wanted to show you how it can be done. You can enter a password room. You can have room number 106. And this can be a password where we just say tis English. Actually, we just say English, right? So that's a password and we can start playing. And so if you click on this link that I'll share with you, I'm just sharing this copy. No, Surbhi, I wanted the link particularly to the room to be shared. Yeah, so if you can just click on the link that is now given to you on your chat, it is room 147. So how will this drawing tool be useful for adult students is a good question. Arpita, it could be in terms of engineering students or whatever. So if you are joining in, some of you have, I think 2-3 have joined. We will just showcase a couple. So say I have a peacock and stuff like that, and I have to draw, and you know, these are feathers, and I'm actually cheating out here by showing you my screen, aren't I? So I shouldn't. And you can change colors and so on and so forth, and others are joining in and linking through. You're supposed to be able to also kind of tell us what this is and share, so you can guess and chat what I'm drawing, what is being drawn out here. I gave it very easy to you. You were supposed to guess for us. So how is this useful is a different question in terms of adult learners. Some of the games are useful for adult learners, some of them are not as much, but this is a fun way because it can actually get progressively difficult. Yeah, yes, so it can actually get progressively difficult since you've already looked at it and drawn and figured out the words. You can also use similar activities to get the students to think of conceptual mapping, right? So you can have, this is one way of looking at the tool. This is an online forum. You can similarly ask them to kind of quickly conceptualize a visual image of a concept that they're drawing, and therefore embed their idea of looking at it. That's not task-based language learning. It is also task-based learning itself over a period of time. So you can look at it from different angles. Oh, there are many people who are drawing. You have to choose a word of the 3 words that are given to you, and someone will draw and chat. Yes. And you can talk on a drawing and take their views and ask them to write. Yes, Divya, you can do this. You can use this for a house party, definitely. You can also use this, and we have been doing, please notice there are these lines that actually tell you how many characters the word is. And you can be drawing through these and looking through. You can have this with different people in, you know, remote access. You can try and do this with them. This is for younger people and not just for older, but it's also a fun activity to do for older people. Students who are new to English, this is useful for them to understand because the words are sometimes quite difficult to get. There were certain words that we just didn't know. You can, yes, House Party is an app. Yes, I'm aware of it. And you can do this similar activity there. And there are other activities similarly that you can do. Mess, yeah, I would also guess storm, squiggle. I don't know. So, typhoon. Tornado, okay. Yeah, so none of us got the message. So anyway, these are kinds of applications that enable us to also guess words, make it fun, and talk about it. And this was primarily for also aimed at a younger child in a sense. And matted hair of Lord Shiva is interesting. So some of you are typing here instead of there, and I have now switched off the room, so you won't be able to access. But the next one is more of a listening and speaking activity. And again, this is something in terms of what we're going to do is, you're being quiet and nice for so long. We're going to unmute some of you and try and see whether you can express anything. Uh, the first one to be unmuted should say something in a happy voice. The second one can say anything in a sad voice. And the third one should say something in a angry voice, right? So just going to do that. Just randomly stretching people who have very kindly raised their hand and unmute them. Saraswati, you go first. You're able to speak.
Now I can.
Yes.
Oh, what?
Anything in a happy voice.
Happy to meet you, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, all right, we'll take that. The next person will speak in a sad voice. We will try and get, okay, I'm just going to go with someone who is called QCOM I don't know, but definitely unmuting you. And can you say something in a angry voice, in a sad voice? Not an angry tone. Whoever
Anusha,
yeah.
can I come in here?
Yeah, sure.
Just considering everyone is at home, so we could try saying the sentence, I am at home today, in different expressions.
Yes, we can. We can say I am at home today in different ways also, definitely. Okay, so whoever doesn't speak gets muted back again and the next person goes in. Sampath Kumar, you are on for sad. You're sad to be at home.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm at home.
Because you're at home. That is sad. Okay, all right. So the next person could just be someone whom we guess. You can try and pick any of your emotions and we guess these emotions. All right. There's something that I really, as a game, like. So the next person is Shivi, the Shivi, and you're unmuted.
Okay, so I will say
Any
yippee, I'm at home.
Okay, the word word gave away. So what do you think this can help you do? And we can chat this, but how does this game really help us? What does it build on? I don't, yeah, intonation is right, but it also definitely enables us to think about how we enunciate and also think of ways in which the same expression, so you can actually look at nonverbal communication, absolutely, and improves the way that they're speaking. So a lot of students come up, and this is for the ones who had asked me earlier, is there anything for engineering students? A lot of students come and ask, how can we speak better? And a lot of reasons why they don't speak better is because they speak in a very, very monotonous way because they're trying to by heart. And if you just practice this as an exercise, it is so much easier to do and work on. And so similar activities, and for paucity of time, I won't really switch on out here. This is something that you can say, oh, in different ways. Speaking voice modulation, yes. So we can try and do this in another way very, very quickly. Choose any one of these emotions, and we're going to again try and see if some of you can be unmuted. So Omkar, Dr. Patlot Omkar, I am going to unmute you, and we will try and guess in chat what emotion he is using of these 10 to say, oh. Dr. Patlut Omkar, okay. Suraj Pandey, yes. Okay, we can't hear you clearly. Niharika, can you try?
I'm privileged to be home.
Ah, okay. And what kind of emotion is that? Others who are typing it. Oh my God, yes. But it's not just that, right? If you just even express the word "oh" differently, as you are writing out in terms of it, yes, oh, displeasure, okay. If you're just typing it out where you're saying, oh, oh, or oh, and these are different ways that can be brought in, and you can be writing through in terms of doubt and surprise. But students generally don't get this, and they can be made to work on this all the time. And young children love this exercise because they just practice different ways of doing it in our experience. But we would love to hear from you. Oh, I get it. Yes. So a lot of you are typing, and I'm hoping that you're also practicing the same thing that at your houses. So that would be great. We move on to the next slide. This we'll just quickly skip, but it can be done in different ways, as pointed out. Yeah. So do you want to take over?
Yeah, Anusha. So here, so we have discussed a lot of activities. Some of them were offline activities, online activities, and you must have noticed that all these are activities which are very playway in nature, and students actually, especially elementary school students and primary school students, like to do activities which allow them to express their thoughts and feelings in a fun way. A riddle, joke, uh, using emoticons to express their feelings, and all of this helps them to think. And these activities are flexible. Every child gets a chance to give their opinions, participate in the activities at their own level. So these kind of activities, which are very playway in nature, allows students to solve real life problems, participate in it, and use language in a very meaningful manner. So you would have noticed that all the activities that we tried to share with you, the examples, they were quite fun and interactive activities where they're quite student centric, and students play the main role when they are performing a particular task or the activity. Yeah. So yes, I think we've discussed this. There are different aspects of language that you can. So remember, I had shared the diagram with you in the beginning that after the learner has performed the task, you can share different kind of language structures and language features that have been done with the help of that particular task. So vocabulary, understanding syllable, sound structure for very young students, jokes, riddles, how to use language in different ways, how to create questions when you're making riddles, etc. So these kind of activities can be designed, and these kind of activities are freely available online, and you can also design them for your learners. So yeah, and we would love to hear from you what kind of activities would you like to do with your students, with your children. You can type it out in the chat box. And thank you very much. As you can see on
Yeah,
the
we are not
the
really
last
done.
slide. Yeah.
Yeah, so these were some of the things that you can, because some of you seem to be interested. What were the defining tasks? There are many more such. A lot of these are
Yes.
available online
Freely. Yeah.
and freely, yes. So one of the questions that we do have, and we have one more poll for y'all, which is hopefully very quick. But if you have questions and discussions, we would like you to definitely write into the same mail ID that you got our mail from. So 1 minute, I'm going to just exit the screen. And
Please feel free to put your comments in the chat box, or any other things or activities that you would like to share with all of us.
Yes. And so the other one we are going to do is just now, it is another poll that we have. It's a very quick poll that you can look at and be voting on. There are 3 questions. Thank you. We would like to know from you more about what are the other kinds of activities and sessions that you would like to know. And it's interesting to see that some people have tuned in and are talking about other activities as well. And we will definitely keep you in the loop and focus on, yeah. That is one of the questions that we are asking, whether you would like to be informed about it and whether we can email you. We can share the work by pangs that we have cited. It's also available online, which is absolutely free. Uh, so definitely that is in conversation with NF Prabhu is accessible without any kind of a gateway. So you can look at that. I'm going to shut the poll in another 1 minute, but we would like and also allow for others to, be able to talk about what they would, if any one of you wants to talk, we will keep the session open for all. There are quite a few of you who have definitely raised your hand, and we want to know what you wanted to say. Yes. So all of you can unmute yourselves if you want to talk and let us know. And definitely that. A lot of messages that we can see. Thank you very much for all of this.
Box.
Oh, okay.
Is it Telugu?
Can I say something?
Yeah, please do. Do, ma'am. Please say.
Hello.
Yeah, please say.
Good evening, ma'am. This is Shivani from Delhi.
Hi, Shivani. Yes.
And I've been teaching English language from the past 5 years in the primary.
Right.
I was just thinking that we can also incorporate theater for teaching English as a second language, as it really enhances the skills in the learners and gives them confidence to speak as well.
Right. Yes, we can. So as we pointed out earlier as well, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And there is a lot more to cover. This was just a very quick session to begin a conversation, to start with some fun activities and to see what we can do. The lockdown seems to be extended in many places.
Sure, ma'am.
And
Sure, ma'am.
we thought that some things that can be done at home with people who are still figuring out how they can use online resources and others.
So after 2-3 days, you can
Yes.
come with a different topic.
Yes.
Reasons why we asked you whether you what that you would like. And you're free and welcome to write down to us, and we are happy to have
At least once a week.
Yes, sir.
Of course, that will be fine, ma'am.
Thank you,
Once a week will be fine, ma'am.
Yeah.
But we have also college work also.
Yes. So no, college for college students, you said?
No. We have also work from home now. For college, we are working.
Yes. So it is from those angles that we were trying to think in other sessions that what is it that you would like to be interested in, and how is it that we can help you.
I have given my responses.
Yes, we saw. So we will. Session a week. Oh, well, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Definitely all the votes have been
For
counted.
such
We're
an
very
enlightening
happy.
and informative session.
Thank you so much. Spoken grammar. Okay. We will consider these points that you have shared with us, and we will be writing to you with the links to the session and with the PPT that you can see. Yeah. And links to the materials that we have talked about will be under the YouTube banner. So we will be, give us please 2 days to sort of format it. We will be writing to you using the same mail ID. And you have already got our mail ID. You have received a mail from us. And we are also available on Facebook on this handle. And you will be able to check. So both of it, we will be also sending on.
can keep checking the Facebook page for update of the session.
Yeah, you can. That was something that I think a lot of you maybe got through. We did not expect this kind of response within 2 days of announcing it, but thank you all for participating and being a wonderful, wonderful audience.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
ma'am.
much, ma'am. It was
We
a
are very,
pleasure.
Thank you.
we're
Thank you,
very
madam.
glad that you could share your ideas with us, and they're really interesting ideas.
Idea, but activities for the college students, madam.
There's more.
Yeah.
These activities are not helpful in the tertiary level class students. Could you suggest some activities for college students, especially developing the reading skills?
Right. So these were activities focused on more getting the beginner students to learn and focus on that. But some of these can also be built in for the college students. And we will definitely keep this in mind and focus on these also. Yes, sure.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you
It was
all.
a wonderful session. Thank you so
Ma'am,
much.
some
Thank
people
you.
are asking whether we are getting the certificate for attending the session.
I know some have asked me privately. This is a webinar for 1 hour. I don't know whether you would get it, but we will
Because they
check
can
the
show
ones
to the
who are.
college. Because they can show to the college that they have done something by sitting down.
We will take this as feedback for the next session and definitely look at it. We did not put in the college
And we would also like to tell you that we also offer certificate courses for English language teaching. We currently have 3 courses that we are offering. One is language teaching.
Can you
I
send
think,
the link of the same
yes,
on the
yeah. So we
Can you
offer,
send the link for the same on the
yeah,
email?
we will share the link. There are 3 courses. One is on communicative language teaching, another is on designing learning experiences for a language classroom, and the third one is teaching literature, very focused on short stories and how to take that up in the classroom. So these are certificate courses, and you engage in these courses online on our TISEX platform, which is an open edX powered platform, and after completing the course, you can earn certificates for yourself. So that is also something that do as a center.
Yeah.
Okay, is
So,
it a paid course? Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
as of now,
it
it
is
is a paid
and it is a
course.
paid course.
But we're also planning to offer a few things, and so we will keep you in the loop about certain other aspects that we will be offering free of cost or resources that we will be releasing. So, for instance, our Connected Learning Initiative resources for school students is free of cost. We are also looking at releasing some of the artifacts that we have on our courses to be, accessible to anyone, irrespective of course material. So we will keep you in the loop. But thank you very much for asking, and we would like to know how else we can help you all and share information with you all and get information from you all. So all of it is.
Hello, madam.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Madam, how do I get updation, madam? Because you have planned to teach online courses regarding language teaching. How can I get the information, madam?
Go on a website, you will get it.
Through the website, yes, but we will also in the mail, the next forwarding mail, since you have asked us this question, in the mail we will look at it. Thank you, Abhishek, for pointing out certification. But we will definitely, focus on trying to give you all the information of where the links are for you to further reach out to us for different aspects. We will put it in a mail and send it across.
Okay, madam.
Yeah?
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
And drama pedagogy and many of the other questions that you've asked for communicative teaching, use of drama, etc. We will
Ma'am,
try and share releases. Yes, sir.
I'm interested in instructional designing also. Is there any courses for instructional design?
Yes, we actually do have not a course, but we have workshops that we have conducted so far, but we will be developing them into course material. So yes, we have had workshops, and some of the teachers who were in the workshops are also here. But yes, the instruction design thinking are kinds of things that we will also offer in the.
If any face-to-face or online course, please let me know.
Sure, definitely, sir. Thank you so much. Yes. For other subjects, yes, that's one of the reasons why we asked whether you're interested in mathematics, science, social science, and so on and so forth. And yes, we will be thinking of offering some of these courses. I'm sorry, I'm not responding to every single chat that there is, but we are conscious.
Just do let us know about the language teaching session if you take.
Definitely, yes. Yes, yes, yeah, sure. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Have a
madam.
great time, and thank you for spending your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Wonderful
Bye-bye.
session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Yes, happy Vishu. Happy, a lot of festivals.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe
Thank you.
and be healthy. Thank you.
Meet you soon.